Top 6 pieces of critical evidence in Tupac Shakur's murder investigation. The murder of Tupac Shakur on September 7, 1996 remains one of the most puzzling and controversial cases in the history of American pop culture. Over the years, numerous theories, suspects, and leads have emerged, but the case has never been officially solved. Here's a more detailed look at the 6 critical pieces of evidence in Tupac Shakur's murder investigation. The white Cadillac, the elusive getaway car. The white Cadillac that pulled up next to Tupac Shakur's vehicle and opened fire has become one of the most infamous getaway cars in history. Witnesses reported that the car sped away quickly after the shooting, heading west on Flamingo Road before disappearing into the night. Despite being central to the investigation, the Cadillac was never recovered, and its occupants were never identified. Investigators scoured Las Vegas and beyond for the vehicle, checking rental car agencies, local residents, and even chop shops where the car might have been dismantled. The lack of any trace of the Cadillac has fueled countless conspiracy theories, with some suggesting that the car was deliberately hidden or destroyed by those involved to cover their tracks. Adding to the mystery, there were conflicting reports about how many people were in the car, with some witnesses claiming there were 4 occupants, while others believed there were only 2. These discrepancies have made it challenging to develop a clear profile of the suspects. Furthermore, some theories have suggested that the white Cadillac may have been part of a broader conspiracy involving multiple vehicles and coordinated efforts to confuse the police. Despite extensive efforts by law enforcement, the white Cadillac remains a symbol of the unanswered questions surrounding Tupac's murder. The bullets and shell casings. The missing murder weapon. The bullets that struck Tupac were fired from a .40 caliber Glock pistol, a popular and readily available firearm at the time. Forensic analysis of the shell casings found at the scene revealed markings consistent with a Glock, but the gun itself was never recovered. The absence of the murder weapon has been a significant hurdle for investigators, as it prevents them from making a definitive link between the casings and a specific individual. Without the gun, it's also impossible to conduct further ballistic tests that could provide more insights into the trajectory and point of origin of the shots. Over the years, rumors have surfaced about the possible whereabouts of the gun. Some claim it was disposed of in Lake Mead, a large reservoir near Las Vegas, while others believe it was taken out of state and either destroyed or hidden. The failure to locate the weapon has also given rise to speculation that it might have been deliberately concealed by individuals with connections to law enforcement or organized crime, ensuring that the case would remain unsolved. The bullets themselves provide some clues, as the trajectory analysis suggested that the shots were fired from a lower angle, indicating that the shooter was likely sitting in the backseat of the Cadillac. However, this information has not led to any conclusive identification of the shooter, leaving the case mired in uncertainty. The Orlando Anderson connection. A tangled web of gangs and motives ***. Orlando Anderson, a known member of the South Side Crips gang, became a key suspect early in the investigation. The altercation between Tupac and Anderson at the MGM Grand Hotel, captured on security cameras, provided a possible motive for the shooting. Tupac and several members of his entourage, including Suge Knight, assaulted Anderson after the Mike Tyson fight, reportedly in retaliation for an earlier incident in which Anderson had attempted to steal a Death Row Records medallion from one of Tupac's associates. Anderson denied any involvement in Tupac's murder and was questioned by police, but no charges were ever filed against him. His death in a gang-related shooting in 1998 further complicated the investigation, as any potential information he may have had about the night of Tupac's murder died with him. Despite his death, Anderson's name continues to surface in discussions about the case, with some believing that he was a scapegoat, while others argue that he was indeed the shooter. Additionally, Anderson's connection to the Southside Crips gang has led to speculation that the murder was part of a larger gang feud between the Southside Crips and the Mob Peru, a gang affiliated with Death Row Records. This theory suggests that the shooting was a retaliation for the earlier fight, and that Anderson's gang associates may have been involved in the planning and execution of the attack. However, without definitive evidence linking Anderson or his associates to the crime, this theory remains unproven. The conflicting witness testimonies. A web of inconsistencies ***. One of the most frustrating aspects of the Tupac Shakur murder investigation has been the conflicting accounts from witnesses who were present at the scene. Suge Knight, who was driving the car Tupac was in, has provided various statements over the years, some of which contradict each other. Initially, Knight claimed he couldn't see the shooter, but in later interviews he suggested that he might know who was responsible but refused to name them, leading some to speculate that he was protecting the shooter or involved in a broader cover-up. Other witnesses, including members of Tupac's entourage and bystanders, have also given inconsistent descriptions of the events. Some reported seeing a man leaning out of the Cadillac and firing at Tupac, while others claimed the shots came from inside the car. These discrepancies have made it difficult for investigators to establish a clear sequence of events and have led to numerous competing theories about who was responsible. The confusion surrounding witness testimonies has also been compounded by the chaotic nature of the crime scene. After the shooting, the scene was flooded with fans, bystanders, and media, which likely led to the contamination of potential evidence and further muddied the investigative waters. The lack of clear, consistent witness accounts has been one of the most significant obstacles to solving the case, as it has left investigators with more questions than answers. The FBI's surveillance reports a shadowy presence ***. In the years following Tupac's murder, it was revealed that the FBI had been closely monitoring Tupac and other figures in the hip-hop community, particularly those associated with death row records. This surveillance was part of a broader investigation into the potential connections between the music industry and organized crime. Declassified FBI files suggest that the agency had gathered extensive intelligence on Tupac, including wiretaps, informant reports, and surveillance footage. Some of these reports indicate that the FBI was aware of threats against Tupac's life in the months leading up to his murder. However, the full extent of what the FBI knew and whether they could have prevented the killing remains unclear. The agency has refused to release many of its files on the case, citing ongoing investigations and national security concerns. This has led to widespread speculation that the FBI may have had information that could have solved the case, but chose not to act on it for reasons that remain unknown. The FBI's involvement has also given rise to conspiracy theories suggesting that the agency was somehow complicit in Tupac's murder, either by allowing it to happen or by actively participating in it as part of a broader effort to suppress the growing influence of politically active and outspoken Black artists. While there is no concrete evidence to support these claims, the secrecy surrounding the FBI's files on the case has fueled ongoing suspicion and mistrust. The East Coast-West Coast feud, a culture of violence and retribution ***. The East Coast-West Coast feud was a bitter rivalry between two of hip-hop's most influential regions, with Tupac Shakur and the notorious Biggie Smalls at the forefront. The feud was characterized by a series of diss tracks, public insults, and violent confrontations between the artists and their respective entourages. Tupac's murder occurred at the height of this feud, leading many to believe that his death was a direct result of the escalating tensions between the two coasts. Theories abound that members of the East Coast rap community, possibly including associates of the notorious Big, were involved in planning or carrying out the hit on Tupac as retaliation for his earlier accusations that Biggie and others had orchestrated an attempt on his life in 1994. The involvement of East Coast figures in Tupac's murder has never been conclusively proven, but the timing and circumstances of the killing have led to widespread belief that the feud played a significant role. The Freud's influence on the investigation cannot be overstated, as it created an atmosphere of suspicion and fear that likely hindered cooperation with law enforcement. Many witnesses and potential informants may have been unwilling to come forward out of fear of retribution, further complicating the investigation. Additionally, the high-profile nature of the feud drew intense media scrutiny, which may have put additional pressure on investigators and affected the handling of the case. Conclusion: the Tupac Shakur murder investigation is a complex puzzle with many pieces, each representing a different aspect of the case. The elusive white Cadillac, the missing murder weapon, Orlando Anderson's involvement, conflicting witness testimonies, the shadowy presence of the FBI, and the broader context of the East Coast-West Coast feud all contribute to a mystery that has captivated the public for nearly 3 decades. Despite the passage of time, these critical pieces of evidence continue to fuel speculation and debate, leaving the case unresolved and Tupac's legacy shrouded in questions that may never be fully answered. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe to our YouTube channel.